A very good evening, everyone. After a day of full of conversation around scale, supply chain, technology, and we have celebrity angles also for you to understand more about the industry and how they think currently. So we have one more critical panel here, and it's quite a simple topic, but quite crucial for everyone to understand about the value-smart consumers who are driving the growth of the brands, be it new age brands or traditional brands. Value-smart consumers are what most of the brands are building their strategies for. So we'll be understanding more about the consumer landscape currently in India and how most of the brands present here, the esteemed speakers who are experts in their field, will explain a bit more about the consumer landscape and how they are building their strategies around them. So firstly, would love to understand, Harsh, from your perspective, like how do you see the overall consumer landscape currently in India, and what kind of consumers that you cater to, and any specific strategy that you have for them and to keep them engaged?
You want me to talk around the value?
Sure.
So I mean, for us, luckily the customers we cater to, where most people target 18 to 35, ours are parents, because Gini Jony is a kids wear brand. So a little bit less on price as you would have at the younger segment. But definitely, value is something that the Indian consumer always understands. It's not to say that they're price conscious, but our customer definitely has a price band that they're willing to pay for. And as a brand, how we look at it is just how do we get to the higher side of the band that they want to pay for. I don't think you can really get them to go beyond that. You can upsell another product. You can upsell maybe something like a category like shoes with that. But they definitely know that they cannot overspend on something. Take T-shirts, for example. They have a very clear sense that I will spend between, let's say, 399 or 499 to 899. So you can price it whatever you want. They'll either wait for discounts, or if they like it and it's at the right price, they will buy it. Yeah, I think that's...
Sure. So Pradeep, would you like to add to this kind of consumer landscape? How do you see the overall consumer landscape currently, and how do you see value currently in 2026? How is it defined currently in 2026? Is it depending on the pricing that you offer or the value that you provide?
Sure. No. So I've always said this, that Indian consumer is a very value conscious consumer across the brand, right? Even at the luxury level, there is a value equation, which of course has what is to be offered or the benefit to the customer divided by the price, right? So obviously that equation is always sort of running. From our lens, we've always seen that brands that have done well seem to first showcase the brand promise, the product. The consumer has already made up their mind on what they're likely to pay. And then after that, if there is maybe like a 20% better price than what they thought they have to pay, then it's a slam dunk case, right? I think multiple brands have done well when they've done that, right? I mean, I remember even more recently, a lot of us would have gone to a Zudio store. It just feels so much like an experience of a Zara, etc. You see the products, they look great. You already have a number in mind to say maybe this is, even if I have to stretch, it's maybe 1499 or whatever. And then the product price is 999. And then you say, let's take two, right? So I think that is the value equation that is working at across all levels, right? Even at the luxury level, that's what they're doing. But they're saying, okay, this price is okay to pay because the benefit I get of seeing somebody seeing me carrying this is worth it, right? So that's how we look at least the value equation. Of course, the other learning has been as an online first brand now turning offline also an omni. Whenever there used to be a chat about, hey, do we need to discount? Online teams are always super happy, right? Whereas offline teams now start sulking, saying, hey, why do we need to discount? So that is the the other piece that we are seeing in our brand. But that's broadly what we've seen play out.
So are the consumers looking for a story that you are telling to the consumers, or are they looking over the price that you have to say?
No, absolutely. I mean, a consumer is only, think of it this way, as a physical store, Consumer is only going to see the price tag if A, they like what they see outside, then they come walk in, they see all the different products, they need to like what the product is, what the brand is, only then is the price even relevant. If it was only the price, then all Ola, Uber, Rapidos will be Tata Nano, right? Even what we buy might be more, I buy 5 Tata Nanos than buy a car or an SUV, etc. But that's not the case. So the price is never going to get you a large business per se. In between, there was the phenomenon of whatever, the 99, whatever, $1 store equivalents, but utna nahi chala, right? And so that's what it is in our lens, at least.
Sure, sure. So Priyanka, in your category, the category that you deal in eyewear, how do you see consumers defining value? Is it basis the price, design, or the brand or vision quality that you provide?
Hi, so thank you for the question. So eyewear is a very unique quality, unique kind of product because it is a blend between healthcare and fashion both. Predominantly, our brand equity has been built over the last 60 years with delivering quality because our customers used to, initially touch base with us, whether it is on offline mostly, because they can't see very well, right? So that is a quality, that is a healthcare issue. So when it comes to healthcare, it's very sensitive. You can't sell the cheapest product. You have to ensure that you deliver and you solve the needs of the customer. Even healthcare industries like pharmaceuticals, people end up spending a premium because they know a medicine would help them recover, right? So eyewear used to follow that trend, but now with the onset of fashion and with the onset of style, where people want to actually celebrate their unique, I would say eye condition by wearing fancy, nice glasses and standing out. Then with fashion coming in, there's definitely been demarcation where you do have consumers who are price sensitive, who want, a frame that is well priced, but with fashion, there are multiple tiers, right? You also want something that is beautiful design, quality, shape. And like very rightly said, if price was the only conversation, then everybody would be driving a Tata Nano, right? So even in eyewear, you have a Tata Nano and you also have a Mercedes. Just, just giving an example as well. So once you build value according to a specific price bracket, you're actually building an industry. You're building an industry which starts from just a product to something much larger. So I think that is where you realize that your consumer is a lot more complex than you think it is. Although from a bird's eye view, we may think price is the only factor, but actually there is a lot of complex decisions that are involved when selecting the right product. A lot of times it evokes a certain emotion. And you saw a celebrity wearing it, or you felt that, impulsive towards buying. So with a lot of complex decisions, we have to study every single psychographic of a consumer, and that just makes everything a lot more interesting. Thank you.
And just to add to that, by the way, right, I have a very close friend who shows both behaviors. So when it comes to us going to a live show, he'll still buy a cheaper ticket. But when it comes to spectacles, by the way, he's a huge GKB fan, just purely for what he's got as a service and the quality of the product. And he's a more functional guy, but he always swears by GKB, by the way, right? So I've seen that behavior in the same person, in fact.
Sure, definitely well said, Priyanka. So Kamlesh, from your perspective, how do you see the overall consumer behavioral change currently in the food category? I mean, is there any kind of change when they see more value that you provide to the consumers, or is it the quality or the ingredients they look at?
Thanks, Anurag. First, as I belong from a food industry, I'll say that there is a drastic change in current scenario. Consumer are price sensitive in India. But after COVID, especially after COVID, the mentality has been changed. Now they are specific to quality. They are the smart consumer now in food. They are ready to pay a high amount, but they need a quality. Definitely the difference they are seeing, the increase in price, they need an ROI of each penny they are spending on a quality. What quality they are getting. So I'll say definitely before COVID, it's like a chalta hai attitude in the food also. कि यार चलो कुछ भी खा लेंगे. But it's a great like today, everybody is seeing the label. They are preferring the quality food and they are a smart type of value smart type they are acting as. And they are going for quality.
Definitely.
Yeah, especially the Gen Zs are looking. They are going for affordable price, but they are ready to give the high price based on a quality.
Sure. So depending on your positioning, I mean, how do you position your brand currently, and how do you maintain that premium perception, maintaining the overall pricing also for the consumers?
See, first, what we are doing that you have to understand, I'll just make it in 3 lines, that we are a manufacturer of millet, healthy Indian snacks as for the current market scenario. Like we are giving a preservative-free millet khichdi, millet ragi pani puri, and millet soup. And as in India, we have a high working, high busy in office time. So we want that product that to be on an office table that he can eat in a very quick way, just with the help of some hot water or a cold water. So how I am looking is, overall, my product is, I'm not selling on a price, I'm selling on a quality and the affordability, how they can afford and an easy way. So I'm educating them that see the label, as we says we are preservative free. As per specific to my, I can't say this, but I am saying this, that all of my products are under 100 rupees. So including Gen Zs, including anyone, they can afford it on the best quality.
Sure. So Harsh, next I would like to understand about maintaining the overall margins. So how do you maintain the overall margins while providing the similar quality to most of the consumers across across India, across the regions in tier 2, tier 3 cities also?
So a little bit more on the value to get to what you spoke, and I'll try and be a little more candid so it adds value. So generally in fashion, people, when they price, they try to price a markdown or a discount inside the MRP itself. And it's something that people, depending on the brand, you can have a 20% markdown inbuilt, a 30% markdown inbuilt. And that's traditionally what people were following. We made a mistake last season, which actually opened my eyes, wherein it was a set. So ideally, both of them should have had separate MRPs, though, for GST reasons. They priced the set at one price. So effectively, that's like a 50% markdown. And what you'll end up seeing is that usually what you say is full price clearance is X, and during end of season sale, you'll do Y, which covers up. But during a slow full price season, we actually saw that product completely sell out. So it brings to question that, okay, if customers wait for discounts, why was it that a product that was well priced, the customer didn't wait for the discount? So I think that really got us thinking on our pricing strategy. So going back to margins, if you are able to sell products at a much lower discount or at full price, honestly, you can even look at if you look at a COGS markup to MRP, you can even go to 2.2, 2.4, which a lot of brands are used to going to 4, 5. So it depends on how you want to shape your customers' buying behavior. Do you want to be known as a brand that sells in end of season sale discount or in Myntra's EORS? Or do you want to be a brand that's, and you have a lot, right? You mentioned Zudio, Westside also. These guys are building their brands on the right price, even Style Union for that matter, on the right price first. And consumers are responding to that. So I mean, as a brand also, what we see is if you actually get that right, your cash flows don't skew till the end of the season. You're actually doing a more stable monthly business. You have a much better inventory turn as opposed to waiting till the end of the season. So outside of just margins, there's a lot more that actually comes into play when the customer recognizes that you're giving them the right value in the start, because a lot of your business metrics improve along with your margins.
Anurag, I'll add something
Sure,
on this.
sure.
The pani puri you eat on the street vendor na, who is giving 6 pani puri in 60 rupees. और उसके बाद जो एक वो 7th पानी पूरी आता है ना, जो जिसको बोलते हैं हम हमारा हक है ना, वो बेसिकली वो हक नहीं होता है, वो डिस्काउंटेड आपको एक रिस्पेक्ट होता है, ठीक है. इट्स अ विन स्ट्रेटेजी फॉर द पानी पूरी वेंडर और सामने वाले का रिस्पेक्ट है ना. तो वो एक्चुअली वो फ्री का नहीं, वो हक नहीं है, वो उसी का डिस्काउंटेड प्राइस है, ठीक है. दिस इज द वैल्यू, दिस इज द कंज्यूमर थिंग. इट्स अ विन विन सिचुएशन फ्रॉम बोथ द साइड, ठीक है. वो आपको एक फ्री दे रहा है, इट्स अ कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री, बट इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट मनी. वो वापस आता है, कंज्यूमर रिपीट होके वापस आता है उसके पास.
Definitely, I mean, you've given a quite hilarious answer to this. Priyanka, I mean, just to end this conversation, would love to understand from your perspective as well. I mean, Kamlesh just talked about the haq. So how do you provide the premium consumers that kind of haq that they are looking for in your category?
Sorry, can you repeat? What kind
The
of?
kind of value that you can provide to the consumers, what they are looking in premium category.
So like very rightly pointed out by Harsh, in the sense that if you know you're providing the right kind of value and people are buying, because end of the day, I think top line is volume is everything, right? If you are consistently making business every month, then margins are not the most important thing. Most important thing for you is to ensure you're in business, right? And you having customers interact with your brand on a consistent basis. So I think consistency is the key, and that's how you build long-term relationships. And you know, for us, we want to build a long-term relationship with our consumer rather than get a short-term game. So when you come with that approach, then your entire business model is based on customer-centric. And then, you know, then everything falls into place and, you know, you do well. That's it.
Sure, I think great insights from all of you. Quite sharp insights to understand the overall consumer landscape, how they are looking at the value pricing. They are looking for more value products rather than just the premium offerings that most of the brands provide. So, yep, do we have any questions from the audience if anyone wants to ask any question? That's it. Just, I think, one question. Can we take just one question?
The quick question is that when we start discounting, there is a result that starts happening, and then it becomes a drug that you can't really go off, because then you are essentially, but it has its law of diminishing returns, I suppose. And at some point, you are training the consumer to say, "Ki boss, if it's full price, then maybe am I paying extra?" So do you follow? I mean, what Harsh, I think, said that an everyday, honest, reasonable pricing, or and then you have to like live away, fend those temptations that okay, I'm not biting that bullet of discounting, or because like if I'm talking about aggregators and online, they have spoiled the customer for expecting a discount all the time. Now, I want to sell at one honest price, but then I'm feeling that am I going against the tide?
Should I get that?
Sure.
So, I mean, one thing you pointed out well was, see, an aggregator, they don't care. In fact, for an aggregator, they only look at top line. So if you discount your product, as long as their overall revenue goes up, what's happening on your balance sheet, what you're not seeing is you are losing goodwill, and they're gaining their top line. So definitely it's a lose as far as your brand goes. But to answer what you said, that, how do you balance it? So for example, after that one mistake that we made, what we're doing in the brand is I'm introducing, so it's not that you go completely flip and say, okay, I'm going to be best price first. But what I'm doing is I'm introducing categories in the brand like a never on sale product. So, like if you take basic jeans, your core products, basic jeans, your polos, some basic fashion like linen shirts. So those we're at least starting with giving the best price first, with even call outs that say never on sale. So the idea is that one mistake gave us a hypothesis that, okay, maybe customers are ready to also shift to a value system rather than only discount. And just to correct you, I think premium can work. just at the right price. So like Pima cotton, thanks to March Tea and Soul Store also, now people know, okay, Pima cotton, which otherwise people would not have known earlier. So people are willing to premiumize. People are willing to pay the right price, to go back to your question. But if as a brand you want to test it out, which is even what we are doing, don't go completely now, okay, we will change. You can tier that in. So even we're tiering it in by saying, okay, the NOS product will be never on sale. Let's pilot that. Let's, push that out. And the first person actually that rejected this model when we went out was actually the aggregators and the trade partners. Because for them, that's completely going against what they look for. And one of my distributors told me that, actually, take Delhi, for example, as a market. The retailer survives for 10 months and thrives for 2. So if you take that discount away from that multi-brand outlet, chances are that he might spin it a different way, but he won't want to support you in that journey. So kind of balance based on the channel you're in.
Right.
And see.
Harsh, I just said 2 lines in yours. See, in the current scenario, not only consumer is smart, even the companies are smart. They know how to give the discount. India is a price sensitive and a discount market, no doubt. But not only consumer is smart, the companies are also smart. They know how to club the products, how to give the discount and take a profit on it. So they are clubbing the products.
Sure. On that note, I think we can end the session. Thank you so much for your insight. Thank you so much for